President Zelensky, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here on an historic day.
Thank you for the invitation.
We really appreciate it. Let's dive right into your meeting with President Trump. What was your biggest takeaway from your meeting with President Trump?
First of all, yes, it was a productive meeting, quite long meeting, more than 2 hours. We spoke about everything. And of course about possible negotiations, yes, political negotiation. Of course, all of us, all our country will wait for diplomacy. We want to stop this war, we want to stop Putin. And of course we count on President Trump, on the United States and European allies with this pressure on him. We spoke about air defense and long range, and be honest with you, I have understanding that we can move forward further with air defense, and with long range our teams will work still. We don't have, this clear understanding for today.
So just to be very clear, your long range, you're talking about your request for those Tomahawk missiles. Did President Trump give you any assurances that the United States will give Ukraine Tomahawk missiles?
First of all, we need Tomahawks, and when we speak about long range, people have just to understand, we use thousands of long range drones, Ukrainian production, on military goals. But Russia uses not only drones of Iranian production, they use and also their production. Be honest, they have their drones, but also they use missiles of Russian productions and missiles long range of North Korea production. It's very difficult just to operate with only with Ukrainian drones. We need long range Tomahawks and similar. United States has similar things. We need it for mixed using, like Russia uses. It's understandable how it works. So our teams work on it, I said, and I'm honest, it's good that President Trump didn't say no, but for today didn't say yes.
He didn't say yes to Tomahawk missiles.
Yeah, this is a sensitive question, and messages from President that it's not enough for American interests, the number of you have. Yes, I can't share these details. I'm sorry, this is your internal questions, but I count on continuation of this dialogue.
In the beginning of the week, President Trump seemed open to giving Ukraine Tomahawk missiles. Then after speaking to President Putin, he changed his tone. Do you think President Trump changed his tone about Tomahawk missiles after speaking with President Putin?
I don't know really, because we didn't meet before this phone call. But for today, it's good again that he didn't say no. Yes, but I think that it's what he understands, maybe understood after phone call. I don't know. I was not during phone call. So, but I knew about it, that Tomahawks, it's very sensitive for Russians. They afraid that United States can deliver Ukraine. That I think that Putin afraid that United States will deliver us Tomahawks. And I think that he really afraid that we will use, and he knows what military goals, we know where they are, where the military goals of Russia, and afraid that we can use it. And that's why we are where we are.
Are you disappointed that President Trump's answer wasn't yes on Tomahawks?
No, of course I won't. And of course we won't. And of course we understand how we can use it. And to my mind, it can pressure on Russia and push Putin to negotiations from my side. But it's to my mind, I don't know the dialogue between President and Putin.
You know, during the Biden administration, you repeatedly asked for sophisticated weapon systems, and there were long delays in receiving them. Do you believe those delays were an obstacle to your winning on the battlefield?
Very difficult question, and I have to find something similar answer. Yep, you know, from the very beginning of this war, we've been not in comparable circumstances with Russia. First, the second biggest army in the world, then they attacked us. And they attacked us by missiles, by everything, by long range. They attacked us by a lot of different things. We didn't have it. But what we had, our willingness, and we are very free people. That's all we have. And of course, our people and our warriors. But then we began to produce. And of course, when we began to produce and began to push out Russian, and we pushed them from 50% of the occupied territory from the beginning of the war, we pushed them during first months. And of course, we needed very big support. We are thankful to all the countries, but of course, if deliveries go quicker, yeah, and when it's slow, it's understandable that Russia knows everything. You know, like about Tomahawks, for example, before this administration, previous administration, I asked for long range. I asked about Tomahawks. Russians did not prepare. They didn't know about it. Of course, such surprises, of course, they can make you more stronger. But then we spoke so long time. Now everybody knows now about Tomahawks, and Putin calls to President Trump. I think one of the reasons because he's afraid that President will give us Tomahawks.
Let me ask you, because President Trump said property lines should be defined, quote, by war and guts after your meeting. They should stop where they are, he said. You have said territory would be the most difficult part of negotiations. Are you now willing to negotiate some territory, to give up some of Ukraine's territory in order to end this war, Mr. President?
I understand the signal and message from President. A public message, yes. He published after our meeting, yes, as I understand.
After your meeting.
So I understand that we have to finish this war and begin this finishing from the place where soldiers stay, from the contact line, as I understood correctly. Yes, I agree that if we want to stop this war and to go to peace negotiations, to urgently and in diplomatic way, we need to stay where we stay, not to give something additional to Putin because he wants, because because he's terrorist. Just that's it. I can't find other words. You see, my level of my English enough just to find correct word about this person. So that's why we have to stay where we stay, then begin any format. In any format, I said it several times, in any format, bilateral, trilateral, but we need to negotiate. Peace talks have to be in quiet, quiet, yeah, have to be in quiet situation, not under missiles, not under drones.
There has to be a ceasefire in place before you can negotiate.
I think yes.
Russia has launched some of its biggest attacks against Ukraine since President Trump's summit with President Putin in Alaska. Give us a sense of what's happening right now on the battlefield. Is Ukraine losing this war or winning this war?
We are not losing this war, and Putin is not winning. And really, his army now in the weak position. I think so, because they really, from the beginning of this war, they could occupy 1% of our land, but they spend 1,300,000 people. And I think this is a high price, yes, for such land. And I don't understand why the leader of the country, which is the biggest, which has the biggest territory in the world, they need some more kilometers. That's why I think that this war is not about the land and not about territories for him. It's about our sovereignty and about our independence. And he can get it, how to get different instruments. Territories, one of the instruments. That's about it. On the battlefield, he's not winning. That's why he really escalates air strikes. And you are right, he using missiles and drones on our, he wants disaster, energy disaster during this winter by attacking us. Each day, 500 Iranian drones. Each day, 500 Iranian drones and 20-30 missiles. That's why we need air defense and long range. He has to feel what we feel.
President Zelensky, I want to show you a chart. This is missile and drone launches from Russia. I'm going to give it to you. It's since President Trump took office in January. You can see that they have increased since then. Why do you think that is?
It's not about President Trump, because they increased their capabilities, because they put more money into their own production, because North Korea began to help them, because machineries, now it's donkey, machineries, industry, machine tools, because machine tools came from China to him for production, because Iranians gave licenses for these drones. So a lot of different reasons why he increased. Yes, but all this shows that he doesn't want to stop this war. They want just pressure, because they need more pressure and then more ultimatums. Again, it's how Putin sees this war end.
You take me to my next question, because President Trump says he will meet with President Putin for a second summit in Budapest in the next couple of weeks. President Trump says he thinks President Putin does want to end this war. He just said that. Do you think President Putin will ever be serious about peace?
Really, I don't know. Really, I don't know that he's ready for real peace negotiations. Of course, the time will come when pressure will come on him. Enough pressure on him and he will be ready. In any way, he afraid of his society. More pressure on him and not so comfortable life for his nation. They will pressure on him. He afraid only of his society because he wants to be president till he will die. And that's why, of course, he needs society to support him. That's why he count on continuation of this war, and that is what the big question, big challenge for all of us. That's why I'm not sure that in Budapest he will be ready. But if God bless, the president will pressure on him, and if Putin will be ready for any format, again, I'm sorry that I'm repeating, any format of negotiations, bilateral, trilateral, any kind of, I think it will be good.
President Trump was asked whether he thought President Putin was trying to buy more time. Here's what he said.
I've been played all my life by the best of them, and I came out really well. So it's possible, a little time.
Is your gut instinct
it's all right. But I think that I'm pretty good at this stuff. I think that he wants to make a deal.
Do you think President Putin is, in his words, playing President Trump?
He wants to postpone real negotiation meetings. He wants to postpone any kind of meetings with me because he understands that he has to make outcome of any kind of meetings, peace meeting. All the world, all the leaders will wait. If leaders of the countries which are in war meet, it means that they will come with something positive for the world and for the people, first of all. That's why he will postpone. Then he wants to postpone sanctions. He afraid sanctions of President Trump, tariffs, and of course secondary sanctions, which are very painful for Russian economy. So he has a lot of losses. He really has problems with economy and with people.
Do you want to be a part of the negotiations in Budapest? Has there been any discussion about that?
We spoke about it. They will discuss with Putin. He wanted to hear my opinion. My opinion, if we really want to have just and lasting peace, we need both sides of this tragedy. Yes, he's an occupier, but Ukraine is suffering and fighting. And of course, how can be some deals without us, about us? Yes, and I think it's more simple because all of us, we need to share the view, because I'm not sure that Putin is ready just to finish this war. I think that maybe he want to come back with aggression.
You will push to go to Budapest?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I said to President, I'm ready.
Okay. Part of President Trump's success with Israel and Hamas was that he applied pressure to all sides. Does President Trump need to get tougher with President Putin?
Yes, and even more, because Putin is something similar, but more strong than Hamas. It's more bigger war, and he is the second army in the world, and that's why more pressure.
There's a bill in Congress that would impose sanctions and tariffs on countries that purchase Russian energy. Is it time for Congress to pass that bill?
Yes. Yes. We ask as quick as possible. We ask from Congress sanctions, and we ask also about energy, and we're asking very much also support us in the question of children, which is also very sensitive and painful for our nation. Thousands of our children been abducted by Russia, and to recognize Russia's state of terrorism, it's the idea of U.S. Congress, not our idea. First of all, but it was from Congress, these signals, and we've been very supportive of this idea.
President Trump had sharp words for you back in February during that Oval Office meeting. He told you, quote, "You don't have the cards right now." His tone has since shifted. How would you describe your relationship with President Trump right now?
I think we learn each other, and now know a little bit better.
How is your working relationship?
Good. Good work. Our team's work, it's important, yes. And the President has, I think, a lot of internal questions, which are very important for him. American questions. I'm in the war totally, and that's why, of course, we have conversations. Saturday, Sunday, maybe more conversation than we had before. Saturday, Sunday phone calls, and then I came here, and I'm thankful to the United States and to him that he could invited me, and we spoke. It was important meeting for me.
We are almost out of time, so if you would, just a few more. In recent weeks, this is really important. You've talked a lot about this. Russian drones and jets have violated NATO airspace. Do you believe that President Putin is looking to invade a NATO country?
I think it depends on circumstances. I think he wants. I think he is checking what country can do, especially after they delivered something, air defense or something to Ukraine during this war, after they helped us. What they can do, what they can destroy, what number of drones. He attacked Poland with 19-20 drones. They could destroy only 4. It's not enough, but it's not also about 500 attack. It's about 19-20. He is doing this, then he checked what NATO countries and how they will answer. Yes, to understand what's going on. And it's a pressure, his Russian pressure on Europe.
President Trump recently took an executive action that gave Qatar U.S. security guarantees similar to NATO's Article 5. It says if Qatar is attacked, the United States will come to its defense. Have you asked President Trump to take a similar step for Ukraine?
I asked President Trump to have bilateral security guarantees, Ukraine, United States. We have coalition willings, and we will have security guarantees, and we need Europe plus United States. And of course, we want some bilateral security guarantees, bilateral understanding what United States, what security guarantees can give Ukraine. And we discuss. We are on the way to this result.
We are almost out of time, but President Trump did campaign, or my final question, on the idea that he could end this war. He promised he could end this war. Do you think President Trump can end the war in Ukraine?
God bless. God bless, yes.
And your message to the First Lady who's trying to bring back those children who've been abducted?
No, I said today, and with pleasure I will repeat, so to bring back all our kids, it's a historical mission. There is no any one person in the world who can bring thousands. And that's very good that First Lady began her involvement in this process. And I'm happy that our First Ladies had meeting in New York during General Assembly, meeting about, of course, about our children, abducted children. And this is good. And you said, by the way, so I'm thankful to Melania for this. And I hope that she will continue this mission, and with my wife and with other leaders, because as I said, we need the partners from all the world. This is global goal. We had to organize coalition of those leaders who will help, or First Ladies and gentlemen, who will help to work on it, bring kids back to Ukraine. We have more than 40 countries. And you mentioned Qatar, for example. Qatar helped with children, by the way, also. So this is, we are very thankful for this.
President Zelensky, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. It's an honor.
Thank you. Honor for me.
Thank you.